Hi, this is Christine Pembleton. Posting this video blog because I've been getting a lot of visits to a blog post I posted on the Ready to Be a Wife blog. And the subject of the blog was about why he doesn't want to marry you. Basically, women that are in situations where their boyfriend for 2 or 3 years all of a sudden decides, the relationship's not working, he's not ready, he just doesn't want to marry you. And a lot of women I find are in this situation, and it's really it's really an interesting situation when you think about it. It's not so cut and dry as some people want to make it to be. I mean, it would make sense if you were with somebody for that long that you would enjoy them, like them, maybe even love them, and you wouldn't want to necessarily be with that person if you didn't like them or were not connected to them in some way. But what I was thinking, so that we as women can understand this, because we don't understand how a man could be with us that long and not want to continue that relationship, take it up a level, and just make it kind of official that we're going to be together. And I think of it the same way that men think about relationships, the same way we think about jobs. And you just had to work with me a little bit because I think this really makes sense. Now, if you think about your job, I can probably guarantee that you don't really like your job. I mean, I don't think that came into play when you were thinking about whether you were going to take the job or not, if you really like it. Basically, you needed a job, you needed to pay bills, and so you took the job. And just because you don't like your job doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't mean that you are somehow trying to manipulate your employer out of paying you either. I mean, you work, you put in your 40 hours or 40 plus hours, and you get a paycheck every week, every couple of weeks. So it's a win-win situation. But if that job or if the employer said to you, listen, I need a 10-year contract that says that you're not going to leave the job, you're going to be committed to this job for at least 10 years, I guarantee you probably wouldn't sign that contract, because if you got an opportunity to get a better job, a job that pays you more or appreciates you more or allows you to be more of yourself, you would take it in an instant. Now, you might not necessarily want to leave the people you work with. You might feel comfortable to kind of know that you're needed at the job and that you probably are not going to get fired. But if something better came along, you definitely would take it. So signing that contract means you can't do that. Or if you did, you probably would get sued. Okay? Men think about relationships the same way we think about jobs, in my opinion. In other words, they're in a relationship because they have needs, okay? Just like you say with your job, because you have needs. You have to pay the bills, the mortgage, your kids maybe need some stuff. You work because you have needs. Men stay in relationships because they have needs, okay? They need physical fulfillment, they need emotional fulfillment. They want to have somebody that they can get comfortable with and kind of be themselves. And as long as a woman doesn't harass them or make their lives miserable, then they're going to stay. Does it make them bad people? No. Does it mean they're trying to manipulate the system? No. Because it's a win-win situation. He's giving something, you're giving something, so usually it's a win-win. But it doesn't mean that if someone better came along, someone that he really felt connected with, someone he could give his heart to, was available, he wouldn't want to jump on that. So being married to you means he can't do that. Even though he enjoys the relationship, even though you both are getting something out of it, he doesn't want to commit forever, because just like you don't want to give a 10-year contract for your job, if something better comes along, something that pays more, requires less from you, allows you to be yourself, you're going to want to jump on it. So what do I do in this situation? How do I handle the situation? Because I've been in a relationship for years. He doesn't want to marry me. What do I do? Well, let's think about what companies do, okay? Most people don't like their job because most companies don't expect you to. Most companies don't hire people that like their job. They hire people that they know will stay at the job, will do a good job, either because the manager or the supervisor makes them, or because they have some kind of incentive program, some great health benefit that's going to keep that person coming back to that job. few companies realize that the best employees are employees that either really enjoy the work or really appreciate the opportunity. And so what they do is they, first of all, go through a very rigorous interview process. They really are looking for people that really want to do things that the job entails, really are passionate about it individually. People that will come in, even if they didn't have to, because they want to do the job well. And then they give them a trial basis. Now, they might not tell them it's a trial. They might say, welcome aboard. But they're always looking to see what motivates that person. If they're going to start to slack off because the manager's not always on them, and they're going to let that person go and keep that space open for somebody that's really wanting the job or really appreciates the job. Because not all the jobs are fun. I don't think anybody wants to be a trash collector, but people do appreciate the job, and so they stay with it. Same thing we got to do with our relationships. We have to take the time to really look and to see if this man is really with me because of the benefits, or if he's with me because he wants to be with me. Is he putting something in a relationship that I'm not asking for because he really enjoys being with me? Is he doing things on his own, or is he doing it because I'm asking him or nagging him to do it? And also to give people a trial basis. I don't think we can always know where people are just by dating or even being in an initial relationship. Somehow we have to kind of gauge after a certain amount of time and look and see if this person is really in it because they want to be, or are they in it because of the benefits they get, and make a decision based on that. I think 2 years is way too long for that kind of time. It has to be depending on how long it's going to take you to get to know what that person is really about. But does it mean he's a bad person? No. Does it mean he's taking advantage of you? No. I mean, usually, just like people work at jobs that don't like because people hire people that don't like them, men are in relationships that they don't necessarily want to be committed to because women don't make it a necessity. We don't require that. And if you want that in your life, you're going to have to start to require it way before now, way before the 2 or 3 year mark, way before you have kids together, you bought a house together, if you're going to make a difference. Because other than that, there's no way to know. So just thought I would share that with you. Christine Pembleton, your companionship coach. You can find me companionshipcoach.com. See ya.